Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here and show you a couple things real quick. I apologize for if you can hear my little one in the background with her music, but I'm at home watching her, but I wanted to get this up there for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about ridge lines today, and how a ridge line can kind of define a watershed, and then I'm going to talk to you about stream order after that. So I'm going to show you this map that we've been using on the quiz just to kind of demonstrate how to define a ridge line, and then also, and I'm not really looking too much into what you do here, but you see this river that runs here, Glacier Creek. This is probably the easiest place to find this. And if I switch color and use red here, the ridge line here that defines this watershed for Glacier Creek is actually running along. If you find the points of an area, this is the ridge line of this mountain right here. Then right here you go into what's called a saddle, which is in between two high points. And then you come up this little ridge here, and then somewhere behind this will define the other half of the ridge. But you can see at point E that somewhere through here is another ridge line, and it travels up to here. And at this point, notice that that line is continuous all the way around. So it's at like 11,000, looks like it's actually 12,000 feet. So that's a flat area. Then the next up is actually up here. So this ridge line cuts up this way. And when it cuts up this way, you basically then can't see where it goes. But my guess is that, it's somewhere up in here and then eventually hooks up with that ridge line. And then from there, it would probably come somewhere around this way. And then it would come back out down this ridge line. So if I'm just looking at all of the ridge lines that are on here, they would look something like this. This one would probably be out in here, and then that one to there. And then across the other side, we can't really tell from what's left over there, but this is a line, this is a line, and that's probably about all we can do with this map. Yes, baby, hang on. Sorry about that. So basically what these ridge lines kind of show us when we're looking at them. So all of this and this ridge line might be kind of down there. So what these ridge lines show us is if it were to rain anywhere along that ridge line, it's kind of like the old joke, if a rooster lays an egg at the top of a house, which way will the egg roll? Roosters don't lay eggs, right? So that's the joke. But but anyway, this really is kind of, if water fell on these ridge lines, which way would it go? It's either going to shed that way, right? Or it's going to shed this way. So depending on, game of inches, depending on which way it actually starts to fall, like when it falls right on that peak or that ridge line, it's going to fall one way or the other, right? And so all of the rain that falls in this area will feed into Glacier Creek, right? So this area right here would be the Glacier Creek watershed. Then when that river runs into Troes Creek, we now have Troes Creek watershed, which includes Glacier Creek watershed, Morgan Creek watershed. There's not whatever that, all that just sheds into there. Whatever this creek over here would be part of Troes Creek. So basically all the tributaries that feed Troes Creek, all of their watersheds are part of Troes Creek watershed. So that these ridge lines actually define our watershed regions. So you can have a small region that is a watershed, and then that feeds into another area, which then is a bigger watershed. So if you were to look, let me find it and then I'll come back. So if we were to open up this map here, this map actually is showing us the Missouri River Basin. So this is the watershed of the United States that feeds the Missouri River. This is the Upper Mississippi River. This is the Ohio River. This is the Arkansas White River, the Red River, which is here in Texas, right? And then this is the Lower Mississippi Basin. So all of this, the Mississippi River is right here. So all of these rivers feed the Mississippi River. So this is the Mississippi River watershed, which covers over a third, almost a half of the United States. So we could be looking at just little watersheds within, like these little areas here, or again, as those add up together, then they create bigger and bigger watersheds. So those are watersheds. I'll come back and show you how to determine stream order in just a minute. Okay, guys, so this is going to be kind of a river system here. Sorry, my baby's crying in the background here. I'm going to kind of keep this as simple as possible. I know, baby. So, if I have this river system here, basically wherever two rivers come together, hang on just a second. All right, so each of these where rivers come together is called a confluence. So let me just change. So this is a confluence of these two rivers. Oh, I forgot to tell you the river's flowing this way, right? This is a confluence, this is a confluence, this is a confluence. So confluence, 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 confluence. So basically what we do, if these are going to be where rivers start, these are going to be called headwaters. Tailwaters is where they end. So basically these are going to be younger streams, right? And then as they combine with each other, they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you can imagine, if the water's flowing this way and this water's flowing this way, then basically you have small streams here, and then they get a little bit bigger because those two combine, then these two combine, that combines, and then all of a sudden you get to here, and now you got these two combining, so this river is going to be a lot bigger than those rivers, or at least that's kind of the theory. And the theory that we use to order these is called the Strahler, I think it's called the Strahler-Horton method, but we're just going to call it the Strahler method. And here's how it works. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. It goes like this. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 1. I'm sorry, that actually equals 2. 3 plus 3. Sorry. 3 plus 3 equals 4. 2 plus 2 equals 3. Yeah, it does, baby. That's what it equals. And then 2 plus 3 equals 3. 4 plus 3 equals 4. So what I'm doing here, if you haven't caught on to it, usually I just keep doing this until you guys figure it out. But basically, if we have the same number adding to each other, then we're going to go up one number. So notice 3 plus 3, same number, adding to it, it goes up a number. 2 and 2 goes up a number. If we have two numbers that are not the same, then we just keep the larger of the two. So the way this works is we are basically going to come in, and anywhere where the river starts is going to get a 1. So that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1. This is a 1. This is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1. Those are all my 1s. Then I'm just going to do the Strahler method. After confluences, I'm going to change the number to whatever it should be based on what we just did. Yes, sweetheart. So 1 plus 1, 1 and 1 is the same thing. So this one is going to go to 2. Then over here, 1 and 1, this one's going to go to 2. Then right here, 2 and 1, those aren't the same, so I'm just going to keep a 2, right? Then I'm going to jump over here just to see some stuff. 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 1 stays 2, and then 1 and 2 stays 2, right? Then back over here at this confluence, 2 and 2 would be the same number, so we're going to go up 1, so it's 3. Then right here, this is going to be 2 and 3. When we add 2 and 3 together, that is going to stay 3, right? So we always just keep the number. So at this point, this river is a number 3. So basically all you're doing, if the numbers are the same, add it up, or go up one. If the numbers are different, then keep the higher number. And all you do is find the confluences and then work going down the river, right? So that's the Strahler method. That's the way we figure out stream orders. Right now we're gonna stop at that just so you can practice on that. So basically you'll identify some watersheds and then use the Strahler method to count some streams. So I'll put a practice in there for you, and then we'll go from there.